This is E3 2014, and here's what we think. I'm Dan.
And I'm Jeremy.
And this is the Dedicated Server. Hello, everyone! I am Dan, and this is Jeremy.
Hi, everybody.
Who you've never heard before, unless you've watched our other E3 coverages, which you can... I'll put annotations here somewhere.
Jeremy's why are you watching these out of order?
Shh. Let's face it. I mean, if I had to look down the list, I would go for Sony first.
Yeah, I would too. Because they're the best. Ha ha ha. Suck it, losers. Sony rules.
Though they did not win the conference this year.
I don't know what you're talking about. They won. They were the longest. Being the longest usually means you win, right?
Oh, if only that were the case. Instead, it was a long-winded... they put too much stuff... Okay, I'll say this. They had some of the best content in there. They put way too much content in there, though.
It had its ups and downs, is what I would say.
It did. It did.
When they were focusing on games, it was all up. When they slowed down and talked about things that weren't games, it was very, very down. It was Microsoft last year.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. Like, I understand you can't talk about just video games because the systems are more than just video games now.
But then what? Okay, but that's what they did. That's what they did last year. I mean, granted, they didn't just talk about games, but that's because they were debuting their systems.
Well, yeah. Well, like, they didn't have to talk as much as they did. Like I understand throwing in one or two things, but when you, it's just like it ran over half an hour longer than it was supposed to. I mean, it does that every year, but it's just like you fell asleep 3/4 of the way through.
And don't get me wrong. I love Brian Michael Bendis. I love Powers. I'm a huge fan of the comic book. Didn't really need to see anything about the Powers TV show at the convention because they didn't show us anything.
No, they showed us a few comic book panels.
They said, "Hey, we have a TV show. It's called Powers."
I mean, I will watch it. I want to watch it.
And because I'm a PlayStation Plus subscriber, I can watch it for free.
Moving on, let's start with the big opening.
Destiny. Now, I am a little biased because since E3 ended, I was one of the lucky people who received an alpha code, and I have now played Destiny, and it is every bit as awesome as it looked in the trailer they showed at E3.
This is one of the games I'm waiting for.
Absolutely.
Like, this might be one of the best first-person shooter games out there.
I was just waiting to try it to see if I wanted to play it. I have played it, and I put $5 down on a copy today. I cannot wait for that game to come out.
I mean, if you've been living under a rock somewhere, Destiny is a first-person shooter MMO with RPG elements made by Bungie, the creators of Halo.
And also the people who were responsible for Call of Duty.
Let's skip that. But plain simple, when playing it, it feels like you're playing Halo, sort of. It kind of looks like Halo a little bit.
No way.
The way the HUD interacts with the environment, it kind of feels like Halo at certain points.
It does give off a very Halo-y vibe.
Yes. And you get a little bit more backstory with the trailer that they released, but the most exciting news is a beta starts for everyone on every system July 17th.
Or, if you're a cool kid, you already have the alpha code and you've played it already, unlike Dan, who doesn't have a PlayStation 4.
I've been waiting for Destiny to come out, goddammit. And now they have an early access alpha.
So what are you waiting for? Go buy it.
San Diego Comic-Con.
If you're telling me that you're going to buy a PlayStation 4 when we're at San Diego Comic-Con, I'm not going to let you do that.
Are you kidding? You'd be paying for my hotel room then.
Nah, that's not happening.
Pretty much, this is the game everyone's been waiting for, and they knew to open with it, and I love it. I love it. I've only seen footage. I haven't picked up a controller and played it yet. I'm getting it.
Yeah, as I said, I've already pre-ordered my copy, so when it comes out, we'll play together. After that, now I will be honest, my feed started cutting out. I was watching it on my phone, and my feed cut out, so I missed some of the Order footage, and I completely missed the Little Big Planet 3 footage as well. So you can take the lead on that.
Okay, Order looks really interesting. At first, it kind of looked like kind of a Gears of War-esque shooter taking place in the 1800s, fighting supernatural creatures like werewolves and part of this sacred order.
Now, are they werewolves or dogs? Because I find that most people in entertainment confuse the two.
It was a werewolf.
Okay, then I'm in.
In this trailer, it was a werewolf. In other trailers, it was zombies and the such. In this trailer, it really didn't have the Gears of War feel as much. It had kind of the Uncharted 3 running from the truck, shooting backwards type feel. And it had more of a horror thriller feel to it. It didn't make me want the game, though.
No?
No, it didn't excite me.
Interesting.
Like, I need to see something a little bit more epic about it, if that makes any sense to anyone.
So what it sounds like you're saying is it's Assassin's Creed.
No, it's definitely a lot better than the current state of Assassin's Creed. Okay, Little Big Planet, let's talk about, since you didn't see that one either. Little Big Planet? Okay. Little Big Planet's doing the right thing with their sequels, okay? Basically, they're looking at the game, they're saying, what could make this game better? Okay? And they add those features, and they bring back all the old features, and make them all better.
So not like Assassin's Creed.
No, because basically, Little Big Planet, no one cares about the story. Everyone cares about the worlds you can create and share with other people.
Yeah, I kind of forgot there was a story mode in Little Big Planet because I liked playing somebody created all 8 levels of Mario in the first one. It was amazing.
I'm sure it was. But let's say you want to play that again. Guess what? With Little Big Planet 3, you can play any Little Big Planet level created ever on all 3 of them with PS4 graphics.
That's the only thing that can make that better is if they had announced Mod Nation Racers 2.
Yeah, it's going to happen eventually.
I thought that game was good. I thought that game was pretty underrated.
It was good. It took the best parts of Little Big Planet and the best parts of Mario Kart and put it together.
Foolproof.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, you can't leave out with Little Big Planet 3. They added 3 new playable characters, each with their own abilities and strengths and weaknesses. And it lets you go through areas with in different methods, etc., etc. You can help each other out. Though I will say this, Stroop, the flying one, feels a bit cheap. You can just pick someone up and carry them to where they need to go.
I'm sure that will come into play on more than one occasion in that game.
Yes. Oh, look, I fell. I didn't make the jump. Pick me up.
What did you think of the Bloodborne trailer?
It looks like Dark Souls got a bit more gruesome.
Which is a good thing.
And decided it didn't want to really show anything about itself.
Which is an EA move.
EA's just going to get torn to shreds.
I was just excited that it was a new IP. That's what I really wanted to see from Sony in this conference, was more new IPs. I'm having a little bit...
The trailer didn't show anything. It showed...
I don't care. I wanted to know that they're working on things that are not sequels. I want non-sequels. I'm tired. I'm having a little bit of sequel fatigue.
That's the past 10 years of the entertainment industry. I'm sorry.
Understandable. That's all Assassin's Creed's fault.
But pretty much you have this strange blade and you're killing undead left and right with like not really being able to see what's going on. At the very end, as you're reaching out for something that is very Dark Souls-esque, some giant beast comes behind you and just squashes you with his hand.
was pretty awesome.
It was awesome, but it didn't tell me anything. It basically tells me, oh, hey, you're going to die a lot. It's like the beginning of Dark Souls 2 where three old ladies sit around a fire and they're laughing at you because of how much you're going to die.
Creepy.
It was creepy. It also was very, very masochistic.
And that being said, Far Cry 4.
Yes. Okay. If you haven't watched our Ubisoft one, go watch that now, because that's the best part of anything Far Cry there, okay? That's the reason why I'm buying the game. What they added here is just frosting to the cake, okay? I'm going to say two things. Two things which I loved about the gameplay that they showed here.
First, go.
Wingsuit! you can throw on a wingsuit and, like, glide through a canyon, okay? It's I love it.
Okay, I can give you that one. What's the second thing?
Let's say, oh, hey, there's a big fortress you're going to need help taking down. And you can invite your friend to help you to take it down, single-player co-op, and they can just join your game.
Well, that's nice.
It really is, right?
Yeah.
And they can leave whenever you're ready for them to leave or when you're done, or however they iron out the mechanic to make it not be unbalanced.
What's the twist?
The twist is your friend does not need to own the game.
I still can't wrap my head around how they're going to pull that off.
Magic.
That's
how.
It's like Psycho Mantis reading your memory card in Metal Gear Solid. That it still doesn't make sense to me to this day.
But I mean, it makes sense because how many co-op games had people, not so much in the past year or two, but had people going over someone's house and playing co-op on the same system on the same game from the same screen. It's doing that, except you don't have to be in the same room anymore.
I'm pretty excited for that game now.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen very much about it going into E3. I stayed unspoiled. I was pretty excited with everything they showed.
Between the villain that they showed in Ubisoft and this, it's like, I'm pretty sure that all concerns about Far Cry 4 not living up to Far Cry 3 were just blown away.
Yeah. I don't think we have to worry about that one. If I was giving an award for coolest trailer...
Let me guess, Dead Island 2.
If you ask my 2-year-old, yes.
I'll say this. At first, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Then I was like, this is kind of an overdone concept, but it is pretty cool. The music's pretty cool.
All I know is that she danced through the whole trailer, and it was very weird seeing her dancing and shaking her little butt facing us while a man turned into a zombie on screen behind us.
You have a horror movie in your future.
Yeah, I hope not. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Why do we need Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation 4?
Because PlayStation 4 would not be selling as well without it.
But do we really need it? Like, really? Is it really necessary? Now,
okay,
take that with a giant grain of salt because I am beyond pumped for The Last of Us Remastered. But why Grand Theft Auto 5?
Pretty much those two games, necessary, yes. They came out so close. They're such big games in the industry right now to players that people don't want to have to play their PS3 anymore to play that game. And the fact that you can take your online data to your PS4 and probably your Xbox One also, it's a big deal because, you know, people can now trade in that PS3.
But these are be the same people that said they're sick of HD remakes.
Yes, absolutely.
Video game fans are a fickle bunch. They're almost as bad as comic book fans.
But here's the thing. It's not just an HD remake. It's a port to a new system. A new system with better graphics.
Okay. I'm still not going to buy it.
That's how you have to look at it. They labeled them HD remakes because the graphics got better, and they wanted to focus on the graphics getting better.
I'd rather just watch Conan O'Brien play it. Why don't you tell people what excited you so much about No Man's Sky?
Okay. No Man's Sky is basically 90% of what I'm looking for in the perfect video game. Okay? It's looking around for resources, building up your materials, your supplies, getting equipment through that. Now, every player starts off on their own planet, getting these materials, okay? It's all one universe, all the planets you can travel to. But the way you travel to a planet isn't just, oh hey, get in the spaceship and have a loading screen to another planet. No. You jump on your completely unique planet in this ever-expanding universe that's completely infinite. Get on your ship, and you literally take off and exit the atmosphere. You can have aerial dogfights, you can have space fights, you can get larger ships, build fleets with people. The only way it could be better, because it doesn't, from the footage I've seen from various trailers, it doesn't look like you can enter the same ship with someone and walk around in it. But if they added that, it would be pretty much everything I'm looking for.
Maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
And it'll be the perfect video game.
It would be. Well, pretty much if they added space engineers to this, it would be perfect.
And you can't play it on the PC.
Yes, you can.
Why do they gotta ruin everything?
Only PC and PS4. And I am so thankful. Let me put it this way. If it wasn't for PC, the day before it came out, I would buy a PS4. Without any question in my mind.
Very cool.
It is my most anticipated game for the system.
All right.
Sony gave a lot of love to independent creators.
Which would be great if they didn't put all of their game titles on the screen at the same time.
It was so overwhelming.
And do the stupid E3, let's do a wide shot so we can watch everybody clap at the industry giving indie developers a chance, instead of showing us the screens with the titles of the games.
And there were a few that really excited me. Like No Man's Sky is an indie developer. And Magicka 2. If anyone here has played Magicka 2 is going to be freaking awesome.
The trailer was hilarious.
Well, it is. That's what Magicka 2 is. It's a very fluid gameplay mechanic with just awesome pop culture nerdy humor throughout the entire thing. It's a satire of pop culture for nerds.
At this point in the press conference, my eyes kind of glazed over because they started talking about PlayStation TV.
Woohoo! You can play on your TV in a different room.
Basically,
for $99 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked exactly like Apple TV.
It did. I mean, and it's a product. A lot of things. There's the Google came out with their own product, and Apple. I mean, I understand why they made it. They didn't have to spend 5 minutes on it.
Which, coincidentally, was the exact same amount of time they spent on the PlayStation Vita right after this.
And they said nothing about it.
Besides, hey, we have lots of titles coming for Vita. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, which looks beautiful, but I am not a fighting game guy at all.
Which is sad
it didn't
for
excite
you.
me.
Sad for you, because it looks awesome. The last one was a huge step up, if you ask me, and this one looks like it takes everything that was great about the last one and amped it up. The seamless use of the environments, the fatalities, everything about this game screams best Mortal Kombat ever to me, and I will be there day one. I just pray that it doesn't take 6 hours to beat Shao Kahn again.
To me, no fighting game will ever compete with Primal Rage for the Super Nintendo. Okay?
Oh, Primal Rage. That game holds a special place in my heart.
That's the only fighting game I ever enjoyed. Because you could kill followers. Okay.
After that, they kind of just closed the show with mostly sequel announcements.
Not all of them bad.
Oh, no.
No. Some of them are really good. I mean, there's a Ratchet and Clank movie also.
Which they definitely needed to show at the E3 press conference instead of just releasing the trailer online.
Yeah.
Especially since it's not coming until 2016.
Yeah. And from what it looks like, they have a lot of stuff done for it.
It's probably done. It's probably sitting in a DVD in a case in some executive's office.
Anyway, but then Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. Weirdest trailer of the convention.
Only weird because it went on forever, and it's only because they paid whoever that band was that made that song for the trailer probably a lot of money, and they were going to get every penny of it back. But, I mean, that being said, it looks amazing.
The graphics look incredible. You have familiar faces in it.
I played the quote-unquote $30 demo when it was released earlier this year, and if the game, if it's anything like that, which it will be, hands down, it's probably going to be the best Metal Gear game.
Well, I've been hearing a lot of people playing hands-on at E3 who have been absolutely loving it, saying that it throws in kind of the gameplay comedy in there also, but keeping like that serious note, and it is one of the best games that they've been playing at E3.
Kiefer Sutherland, good or bad?
I'm going on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being good. I'm going to give it like a 6 to 7. Like leaning on the good side.
Way to get off the fence on that one.
I'm indecisive! And let's be perfectly honest, I didn't grow up playing Metal Gear. It's something I only got in past few years. I'm an RPG guy.
You had a very bad childhood, Dan.
RPGs, man. World of Warcraft didn't ruin all of them, okay?
The last gameplay they showed was for Batman Arkham Knight, and I might get flamed for this, but I don't care about the Batmobile.
It looks sexy.
I'm not saying that it doesn't. I mean, car porn, if you listen to our Microsoft video, I'm all about the car porn.
Okay.
But the gameplay with the Batmobile, it does nothing for me. It's not exciting to me.
Okay, I feel like being able to drive around the city in the Batmobile was a mechanic that was missing, or not so much missing, just kind of lacking. Like it could do without, but it adds a little extra.
You're kind of just turning it into Grand Theft Auto Batman, then. It feels like to me.
Well, I mean, Batmobile's such a big part of Batman as a superhero. It's how he gets around. Okay?
He also has the Bat plane.
Which...
And the Bat submarine.
That would be OP.
And the Bat helicopter.
We do not talk about the Bat chopper. Okay?
I could keep going.
He has a Bat everything. But, I mean, yes, the battle mode is a bit excessive. Looks cool as all hell strafing like it does. But it's just excessive, and I feel like they just added in another game mechanic that's just going to slow the gameplay down. That being said, everything else looked amazing.
Yes, the gameplay itself looked awesome.
They sped up the gameplay. The actions of jumping into vents or flying around the city, it's a lot faster, a lot smoother, which is something that kind of went wrong the past game and a half.
There was only been 2 Batman Arkham games, right?
No, 3.
I don't recall a third one.
Did you block that from memory?
It's hard to block something from your memory if it never existed, Dan.
Arkham Origins.
That sounds intriguing. When is that coming out?
Never for you, ever. I mean, it wasn't made by Rocksteady. And it's kind of obvious. But Rocksteady's making this one again, and it's going to be good. I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be fantastic. It's going to live up to name. It's probably going to be the best one out of all 4.
3. I'm happy that they came out and announced a delay on it as well, because we are both big proponents of them actually finishing a game instead of rushing it out.
Absolutely. Like, first time I noticed them do that in the game industry was Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Star Wars.
Let's be perfectly honest, that ending just was not complete.
No.
Not at all.
Rushing games out is always a terrible idea. Assassin's Creed.
And Sony left us off with one.
The most famous fly in the history of flies.
Yes.
Besides maybe Lord of the Flies.
The biggest teaser Uncharted 4, Thieves' End.
Hey, at least we have a title now.
Yes, which is the only new information they gave us.
No, now we know it takes place in a jungle.
Which, wait a second.
Maybe.
Wait, didn't they do that in another Uncharted? Oh wait, all of them.
Uncharted is amazing, and if you insult Nathan Drake again, I'm hanging up on this Skype call.
I love Uncharted, okay? Uncharted 1, gunplay mechanics suck balls. But after that, like, it's freaking fantastic all the way through. And it's just... But they didn't really show anything new other than a title, other than Sully talking, and...
It implied that it's the last one.
Yes. It's the same teaser trailer as the one before, with a jungle and skeletons instead of a desert.
I'm sold. I'm buying it.
And more on the point of being the last one, it's not really all that surprising with all the staffing issues they were having recently. Like, some of the big team members leaving.
Yeah, they kind of want you to forget about that, I think.
I'm kind of glad they're ending it because I don't want it to drag on, but it's just...
Assassin's Creed.
It's bad, it's for this reason, you know?
Yes. So, mercifully after that, the press conference ended, and all was right in the world because it was a great presentation. Minus the middle, it really did what it needed to do. It showed new IPs, it showed off Destiny, showed that they are working on other things.
They are working on the most stuff compared to anyone
that
else.
PlayStation owners care about. And I'm sorry, I think the focus on indie developers is going to be very beneficial to them down the road.
It will. It's just they focus too much on it for E3.
Stay classy, Dan.
If we go any further, we'll probably end up being as long-winded as Sony was.
So leave us some of your own long-winded comments down below.
There is a like button there asking for love. Click it if you like the video.
Short and sweet. Click the subscribe annotation.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Jeremy.
And this is the Dedicated Server.